The results I got from using RESPeRATE were astounding. Yeah, my doctor was truly astounded by the fact that I found something that works, and the results speak for themselves, because the numbers, he can see the numbers when I'm in his office. More importantly, I see the numbers every day when I check my blood pressure. The blood pressure before RESPeRATE was probably somewhere in the area of around 150/90. That's hypertension. I don't know if it's serious hypertension or not. I guess that's for doctors' guidelines as far as what they consider normal. But 150/90, maybe 150/100 is pretty high. So I go in for my annual checkups every year, and blood pressure has never been a concern of mine. I'm a marathon runner. I've run 11 marathons. I know what it's like to be in shape. And again, if there's one issue I never thought I would have, is anything having to do with high blood pressure or the heart. But it was about 4 years ago that I went into the doctor, and we did the checkup, and he told me that my blood pressure was high and that I have the option of either going on meds or trying to do it on my own. I preferred not to take meds, so I tried it on my own. And I tried exercising a little bit more. Like marathon training isn't enough, but I tried exercising a little bit more. I tried listening to relaxing music. I tried a whole bunch of things as far as, calming down, working on the stress, working on trying to get that blood pressure down, eating less salt, whatever. I did everything that I possibly could. And then I went back in per his instructions about 6 months later, and the blood pressure was still high. It was somewhere in that 150/100, maybe 150/110. So they finally put me on some meds, and I tried a couple of meds over the next year or so. It lowered it a little bit, maybe 5 points or so, but not all that much. So they wanted to up the meds. And I really didn't want to do that. I believe all meds, or at least many of them, have some side effects, and maybe we don't even know what those side effects are right now. But there are side effects to taking meds. So I've been seeing a therapist for the last number of years when it comes to having to deal, or how to deal with my stress. And she had mentioned this product from RESPeRATE that is, you put the earbuds in your ears, and you listen to the music, and it kind of relaxes you. And at first I was a little bit hesitant, because I thought, oh, give me a break, it's voodoo medicine or whatever. But I tried it, and I found it very relaxing. And I was using it a couple of times a day for the first few weeks. My wife is a nurse, so we have a blood pressure monitor here at the house. And even with RESPeRATE, it didn't seem like it was doing very much those first few weeks. And I was starting to lose a little patience, thinking that maybe it would, what's going on here? I thought this is supposed to work. But my therapist said, no, give it a month or so. And after about a month, I started noticing a difference when I looked at the numbers. The blood pressure came down considerably. I mean, probably by about 10 or 15 points. Now I've been using it for about 2 years. I check my blood pressure probably once a week. And the blood pressure this morning was 110/79. And for the most part, it's somewhere around 120/75, 120/80. And that's been fairly consistent now for about 2 years. So I'm very sold on this unit. It's just hard to believe that something like that can work so effectively. Most people breathe somewhere around 15, 20 times per minute. I'm down now to like 3 breaths per minute. So I'm very sold on the product. I think a lot of people look at the cost and they're thinking, I'm not going to spend that kind of money. It's just too expensive. But I went in and bought the unit, and I decided that I'm really going to make a commitment. And now that I've been using it for 2 years, it's the best investment I've ever made in my life. Well, that might be a stretch, but there's a lot of fun things that I've bought in my life, but this is for my health. And as I've gotten older, I realized that there's nothing more important than our health. I used to say that when I was younger, but it didn't really register, because when you're young, you're thinking you got a long life ahead. Well, I like to think I still have a long life ahead, but it's all about health. And it truly is the best investment, because it forces me to relax. I listen to it twice a day. The The results speak for themselves. The blood pressure is in the range of 120/70, give or take 5 or 8 points. That can vary every day, but it's always in range, and it's in a healthy range. So that's the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the results, and I can see the results when I check the blood pressure monitor that I have at home. I see it when I'm in the doctor's office. It truly is the best investment that I've ever made in me.